Hello there, and welcome to your general weekly reading for the week beginning July 16th, 2018. This week I was called to use the Archangel Michael, not tarot cards, Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Archangel Michael has just been coming up a lot lately for a lot of different people. I think that he has just a few messages for us. So he was popping out. So we're going to use his cards today. So these are not tarot cards, but they have messages and prayers on them to help you through this week. And it's my intention to use these cards to kind of give us some guidance to use for the week, depending on the energies out there. So, how are you doing? How is your week going? I was reflecting on this week quite a bit because I felt like it was really interesting how the feminine and masculine energy came into play for us last week. It was like everybody who was kind of questioning their story, what they're doing with their life, how their emotions are being exposed because of the things that they're doing. So it was almost like the practicality of life. Like, what is this all for? And all of the emotions that were kind of coming up to the surface were kind of bringing up those questions, and we're encouraging people to look within and actually ask those questions. And what I kind of felt like this week was there was a whole lot of questions and not a whole lot of answers. So it was a bit frustrating when you have all of these crises going on around you and you don't really have any answers for them. But the first step is to ask the question. If you are not sure what to do or where you're going, you just have to start by asking, because the answer will come to you in the most unusual way sometimes, and it'll just come out of nowhere. And when you're just in those relaxed states and you're not trying to push anything, because the more that we're pushing, trying to get the answer, the farther it is going to evade us. So that being said, Archangel Michael has been coming up a lot for people just to reassure them that they are safe and that you're protected. And that with everything kind of going on in your life and in the world right now, that it's okay to ask for a little bit of guidance and a little bit of protection. There's always help available to you. I work with angels because I like how they feel and their energies. And when we're talking about angels, you can see them as, I guess, imagine them as actual, what you would imagine angels to look like. You can visualize them as symbols or energy. Really what they are is just a certain expression of source, of spirit's energy. So Archangel Michael has the very strong protective presence that we like to use, and that helps us through hard times and helps us feel protected when we need a little bit of protection. So that is the aspect of source that we're working with today if you don't really believe in angels. So Archangel Michael wiped my mind. I had all these things that they wanted me to say about this week. There's a lot of grounding energy coming in this week. So if you were finding that you were asking a lot of questions without the answers, you were kind of living up here. So this energy, this upcoming week for July 16th will be more grounding, and hopefully that will bring some more insight and answers. If you are thinking about making some big life decisions, call in Archangel Michael to work with you, because he's going to give you that little bit of extra protection and guidance and a little bit more security feeling. Anytime you have any sort of doubts or anything like that, just ask him to come in and help you. His presence is very strong, so you will be able to feel it or experience it in whatever way that is strong for you. You might just start noticing things around you a little bit more. You might just feel a sense of protection. But anytime you're asking big questions and you need answers, he's the first angel to kind of bring in to protect you and to make you feel secure so that you can go into your heart to find the answers for yourself. Okay. So we already had the theme card pop out. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the weekend. Okay. So for the theme of the week, we have a favorable outcome. Thank you for the beautiful outcome to this situation, which is perfect and fair for everyone involved. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me trust and have faith. So this card is just a call to release worry and fear. We were talking about inviting Archangel Michael in anytime you are making big decisions, and this card actually popped out as I was saying that. So anytime you're going to make a decision, imagine that every decision, whatever decision you make, comes out in the best possible way. And just kind of look at where the themes are. And if you have two decisions to make, what are the common themes that are linking those two best case scenarios? Is there a way that you do both, or that you can take the easy way out, but by still having both of those aspects that you're really striving for be present in your life? So just go into every situation as if it's going to be a favorable outcome. I've had clients in the past who, they're like, the law of attraction is so real. I knew that I put this out there and I knew that it was going to come to me, and it did, but it's also in those negative ways. So if you have thoughts that some people are going to be mean, or you're going to experience some difficulty, the universe will bring you those experiences for you, because that's what you believe to be true. And if you're going to go into any situation with fear, all you'll get is fear in return. So if you go into a situation with a more positive outlook and a more favorable outcome in mind, that will be brought to you. So we have for Monday, Tuesday, admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance so that I can be lovingly honest with myself and others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for giving me courage and strength. So, where are you lying to yourself? That is the most important lie. That is the most important place for you to be truthful, basically. If you need to make decisions, or you need to look within yourself, you need to be honest. And the truth sometimes sucks, but it is there. And so also you can ask Archangel Michael to help you see the truth in a loving way and look at your stuff with loving eyes. The best way to do it is go into a place of love and look at yourself like you're talking to somebody that you love the most in this world. And you're not going to tell them flat out that they suck. You are going to give them a loving response. So why not give yourself the same loving response in return? So admit your truth, and it's time to act. Where are you going to be if you continue on this path? Look ahead at your life and look at where you're going, and is it that you want to be there, or are there things that you need to tweak in the present moment to get you to your future state? And be honest with yourself. Sometimes we love to lie to ourselves because it feels so good, and sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it. But just try to be as honest as possible with yourself, because that is what matters. The only person that will suffer from being dishonest with yourself is you. So just keep that in mind. So for the middle of the week, we have sense of humor. So thank you for helping me see the humor in this situation so I can lovingly laugh at human nature. I'm willing to view my experience in a new light in order to attract love and healing energy. So I think one of my favorite quotes of all time is be sincere but never serious. Have a sense of humor with life. Laugh at things that go wrong instead of getting upset. Life is way more fun if you laugh, and if you have a hard time laughing, you just have to start trying to laugh more, even if it feels a little bit forced. Eventually the laughter will become real. If you are having a really crappy time right now, watch something super funny, or even better, go to laugh yoga. It is ridiculous, but it's so effective and amazing. So partake in things that make you feel joyful. Anytime you're starting to, sit and worry or fear, you need to bump yourself up by going out and doing something fun, whatever that is to you. Change your state like we've talked about, but have this sense of humor when it comes to life, because life doesn't have to be so serious all the time. In fact, I think if we came at the world's problems with a better sense of humor, we would come more from a place of love because we would all be happier and the solutions would be more loving instead of fear-based. So for the weekend, we have God is in charge. Dear God, please help me let go of this situation, giving it in faith and trust to your divine wisdom and infinite love in order to resolve and heal everything and everyone involved. So if you have someone like a boss or anybody who's trying to take charge of your life or is being dominant or making you feel subordinate, shift your focus away from them having control over you. We've talked about a lot of repeating messages this week. We've talked about you're the only one who can give your power away. If you feel that people are robbing you of your power, come back to the place of, source is my God, source, spirit, whatever you want to call it, him, her. God is my boss. God is the only one who, is in charge of any of this because she holds the rules to the universe. And however you want to imagine that superior being, whether you want to humanize or it's just an energy or universe, whatever it is, just keep in mind that there are greater forces at work. Even if you want to have the belief that love is in charge, love heals all, love destroys all negativity, basically. So come back to that point of love. Where would you act in your life if you were coming from a place of love instead of fear? Where is it that love can come over and just take over and just completely transform? And anytime that you feel that you are being threatened or any aspect of you is feeling afraid or scared for any sort of reason, if you're feeling intimidated in any way, come back to that place of love. Is this action out of love or fear? And understanding that no matter what happens to you in your life, if you truly surrender to the universe and you're in the flow, which I know is hard, it's a practice, it's a lifelong practice, but eventually if you come to that place or you do even little tiny bits and start to understand that the universe does have your back and your best interest at heart, your life will be completely different. And you will feel so much more fulfilled, and it will be so much easier to have a sense of humor about things because then you'll understand that the universe is giving you a joke or is giving you this ridiculous lesson. And that's another thing about working with angels is that they have a ridiculous sense of humor. The ways that they deliver messages to us are really funny sometimes. And if you ask for a message, sometimes they'll bring you something that's super ironic and hilarious. And other times it'll be soft and loving. And then other times it'll feel like a smack in the face. But when it gets to that point, you know that they've been trying to knock on your door for a little while. So all in all, come back to a place of love this week and every week and enter into the world from a place of love, and your life will be much different than if you live your life through fear. And the question I will pose to you this week will be, what would your life look like if you acted out of love? Always. And every action and every decision you make, ask yourself, what decision would I make if I was someone who loved themselves unconditionally? And just see where that takes you, because I promise you, you will be acting much differently, because most of us are motivated by fear because that is the structure of our society. And that's just kind of what we grew up doing. And it's our human brains. Our human brains are structured so that we act out of fear so that we stay alive. But things have changed since the beginning of human beings. So I hope that that was meaningful to you. Please let me know how this week was for you. Please head on over to katiehunt.ca if you haven't already, and please subscribe to my mailing list so that you can get all of the extra little goodies and insights and information that is only shared on my email list. Thank you so much for being here. I so do appreciate your time, and I hope that you have the best week ever. Thank you for being here.